Today, I want to show you 5 new AI apps that you should try if you're a singer, a songwriter, or music producer, any kind of musician. Let's go ahead and get started with some songwriting with app number 1, Notion AI. Now, first and foremost, Notion is a really dope app for nerdy planners like myself who like to have everything kind of planned out, plotted out into to-do lists, tables, and different things like that. So it can actually be a really great album planning tool. But aside from that, Notion has this built-in feature called Notion AI. And if you saw my last AI apps video, then you probably know a little bit about how ChatGPT works. Notion AI can be compared exactly to ChatGPT in the fact that you can ask it to do things for you and it'll do it. Now, I think most of you out there are probably thinking, I'm just gonna ask it to write a song for me. And while yes, you can do that, the outputs tend to be a bit more generic and something dynamic that you would want in a song. You can do it if you want to, but I would recommend that you use it in a slightly different way. What I tend to do, instead of just asking Notion AI to write a song for me, I will actually ask it to generate chord progressions for me, or have it be that extra voice in the room when I'm writing a song to tell me something that rhymes with a current word that I'm using in a line that I'm writing. And since songwriters tend to lean towards these literary devices like metaphors and similes, sometimes I'll ask Notion to give me an example of something that I can use to compare the current line I'm writing to something that is an image or a metaphor of something else. Let's see how it works. So this is what Notion is going to look like when you open up a brand new page. Now you can start with planning if you want to, or an album or a song. I'm just going to go ahead and title this Notion AI for Musicians. So in order to activate the AI for Notion, all you have to do is hit the space bar. And here's where you'll type your prompts just like in ChatGPT. Organize an inline table for me to plan an album. So here we have a little mini album planner that we have. So you see how it can really work on the admin side for musicians. But what about if you're trying to create music itself? Generate 3 chord progressions for a song that are all in the same key. These include the names of the chords and the individual notes included in each chord. 1 for verse, 1 for chorus, 1 for bridge. And there it is. Because I understand how to play the keyboard, I play everything by ear, but when it comes to generating written down chords and progressions that I have to read, I don't necessarily know, okay, I need to play this note and this note and this note. I know it by the sound. So this is actually going to help me to learn a little bit of music theory while helping me to produce music, making chords and things like that for me. So here are 3 chord progressions in the key of C major for a song with a verse, chorus, and bridge. Now moving on to the music production side of things, this next app is going to be for bassline generation, and that is Unison Bass Dragon. If you're a music producer, you realize how important a bass line can be in the songs that you're producing. Because everybody knows that a song without a bass is a pretty incomplete song in my opinion. Sometimes people have trouble coming up with these bass lines on their own. I know I have my times where I'm struggling just a little bit, not always, but it does happen. So even seasoned musicians like myself, as well as beginner musicians or intermediate musicians, can find use in Unison Bass Dragon. What this plugin does is basically you give it a set of chord progressions that you're using in your song, if you already have those. And then when you click the generation button, it'll generate a custom bass line in your selected genre and your selected style of the bass. It also has tons of customizable features so that you can actually change individual notes in the bass line that it generates for you if you want to have a more hands-on approach. Let me show you how it works. When starting out with Bass Dragon, you just open up the plugin, make sure you dial in your key, your genre, and then hit the randomize button. You can do this until you're satisfied with the bass line that it gives you. 1 second. Before we get into our next application, it's time for our sponsor. This video today is sponsored by CD Baby. If you're making music, there's a 75.4% chance that you're gonna wanna release this music out to the public at some point, right? Right? That's the part where you say yes. CD Baby is a music distribution platform that will never charge you a subscription fee just to keep your music up on streaming platforms. In fact, they've just made a permanent price change with singles, albums, and EPs all being priced at $10 per release, plus UPCs are now completely free. Now, this means you're saving more money than any other distribution service out there, and the best part is you only have to pay once. In addition, CD Baby also offers a range of services to set them apart from other distribution services. One of the most important being they will never take your music down because you're not paying a subscription fee. Is it clicking now? And while other services charge extra for add-ons like YouTube Content ID, Shazam, and delivering to new DSPs in the future, CD Baby keeps things simple by including all of these things in the price you pay. No microtransactions necessary. Lastly, with CD Baby's Stages program, seasoned artists can get help with promoting their music and growing their audience with tools like editorial playlist pitching, getting verified on TikTok, and getting video distribution to Apple, just to name a few. If you compared CD Baby to other subscription-based services like DistroKid, 97% of independent artists would be better off going with CD Baby in the long run. And this is strictly because of the lower prices offered and all the key services and features that they have available to you. So don't let these subscription fees hold you hostage. Switch to CD Baby today and give your music and your wallet the respect it deserves. And for 50% off, make sure that you're using the code LXSingle23 when you're releasing a single, or LXAlbum23 when you're releasing an album. Again, this will give you 50% off of the price that you pay to release your song. That's a good deal. I guarantee you it's well worth it. Now back to the video. Application number 3 is going to be a chord generation application called Muse Spark. This is a chord progression generator tool that basically is like ChatGPT for chords. So you go in there, you type in, I want Taylor Swift in an R&B style, and it'll give you chords that kind of mimic Taylor Swift if she were singing R&B. Kind of weird, right? But it's cool. The coolest part about this application is you don't have to know how to play the chords. All you do is take your finger and press it on one key, and it'll play the entire chord for you. The next key, it'll play the entire chord for you. You have a full chord progression with the press of one single button, one finger. What I do like about this is when you first sign up, they give you 20 free credits for prompts. So it's going to cost you credits in order to generate these different chord progressions. And as you use those, of course, you'll have to purchase more. But I do think that this is a really useful application for people who need a little bit of inspiration when it comes to the chords that they play, or maybe they're stuck in a rut and they're playing the same chords over and over. Me. Let's check out how it works. Now with Muse Spark, this is in MIDI effects. It's not an instrument, so you would have to add it to your MIDI effects in whatever DAW that you're using. So I come here, I already have my piano selected, and I come here, I go to audio units, and then I will find Muse Spark. Now I've already generated a chord progression for my previous project, but for this one I'll generate a fresh one. So we'll say something like, give me a progression that sounds like Luke, James, and Michael Jackson did a collaboration. And when I press just one of these keys, you're going to see how it plays an entire chord. AI tool number 4 is going to be for vocal production. And this one is called Waves StudioVerse. This tool is actually a part of another tool that Waves makes called Waves Studio Rack. Now, Studio Rack is basically a vocal chain all encompassed into one single plugin. StudioVerse, however, is a part of Studio Rack where it is AI powered. So you go in and you click the scan button. When you put this plugin on your vocal, it'll scan what type of vocal that you have. And from that scan, it'll list you a ton of vocal chains from community members of the Waves StudioVerse universe. But they're all based on the audio that was scanned. So if you have a male voice and you're singing or you're rapping, searching, it'll come up as male voice, male vocal, male rap. If you are doing a bunch of background vocals and you're doing this on the bus channel, it'll say male choir, female choir. It's actually pretty amazing how this stuff works. I think it'll be better if I just show you how it works. Sing it. I don't know what you're looking for, but I just want to do So the way that Wave Studio Rack works is you record your vocal and then you come in here in your audio effects and you add a Studio Rack. Now once you've got that added to your chain, you go ahead and click the waveform and then you start playing your audio. I don't know what you're looking for, And already you can tell it's got a male vocal here, so we're gonna go ahead and look for some. Let's go with this crazy good one. I don't know what you're looking for, I don't know what you're looking for. Now, last but not least is Voqul.io. This is going to be one of the favorites, I think, in this video, because this is where you're going to generate different AI voices based on the input that you give. So it can be you want to upload one of your songs to get an AI voice like Michael Jackson, The Weeknd, Taylor Swift on your song. You upload this track and then it'll output the same song with that person's vocal on it. And I think it came out pretty dope. Let's listen to it. Hey, yo. Flow so ridiculous, you like it or not. Medicinal like legal cannabis, that's up in the pot. And you ain't gotta partake, homie, you could smell from your block. Score these women in threes like easy curry up for the shot. Oh yeah, I put them things in the air. When I drop a single, man, it's really like a pair. Comment, too easy, that's important to my culture. And all these other hating niggas, cállate la boca. Let's go ahead and upload these Drake vocals. Run it. That was fast.
Flow so ridiculous, you like it or not. Medicinal like legal cannabis, that's up in the pot. And you ain't gotta partake, homie, you could smell from your block. Score these women in threes like easy curry up for the shot. Oh yeah, I put them things in the air. When I drop a single, man, it's really like a pair. Common, two Yeezys, that's important to my culture. And all these other hating niggas, cállate la boca.
Oh, pretty sick. I'm gonna try to go Ariana. I'm gonna actually try to go Ariana Grande.
I don't know what you're looking for,
Bro.
but I just want to do it.
Yo. This is nuts. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. Let's do it with both of them.
Flow so ridiculous, you like it or not. Medicinal like legal cannabis, that's up in the pot. And you ain't gotta partake, homie, you could smell from your block. Score these women in threes like easy curry up for the shot. Oh yeah, I put them things in the air. When I drop a single, man, it's really like a pair. Common, two Yeezys, that's important to my culture. And all these other hating niggas, cállate la boca.
I don't know what you're looking for, but I just want to do it.
The thing about this application is I would not recommend whatsoever that you use these people's voices to release your song and say, hey, I got Snoop Dogg on my song, or I got Kendrick Lamar or Michael Jackson, because you're actually using a person's name and likeness in your artwork. So this is stuff just to use for promotional use only, or just for fun, maybe just to promote things on social media, but don't try and release these tracks as legitimate tracks, because I'm sure you're breaking several laws and you don't want to end up, you know, getting sued up the wazoo because you're doing stuff without permission. So there's our 5 AI apps that every musician should try in their music production workflow. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I've also linked every single one of these applications in the description, as well as today's sponsor, CD Baby. Again, you guys can get 50% off if you use code LXSingle23 or LXAlbum23 if you're releasing a single or an album. And if you're looking for some more AI apps that you can use to help you become a better musician, I have this video right here where I list 5 different AI apps from this video that'll help you make better music and become a better musician.